in session as well. I will just wait a few minutes for others to join us. Then we get right into the session. Thank you very much. And if you have anyone who is supposed to be here, kindly remind them that we're about to start because I would not want you to miss this impactful session. Thank you. We'll be starting now. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to Beyond Your Degree, how to position yourself for opportunities. My name is Amal Fatima, and I'll be your moderator for today's session. Today's conversation is all about practical lessons you can apply to your own journey because your degree is important, but how you position yourself can make all the difference for you. As we go along, kindly feel free to engage in the chat. Also, take note and save your question for the question and answer session. And let's get started with our first speaker. Our first speaker is someone who has intentionally created opportunities for herself and now helps others do the same. Blaze Eniobanyo is a LinkedIn strategist, operations manager, and founder of the Career Multiverse. She began her entrepreneur journey at just 12-year old and has built a personal brand that reaches over 22,000 people. She has also mentored 200 plus young professionals and has been recognized twice as LinkedIn Top Voice by Frenos. She is passionate about helping young people maximize opportunity through the right mindset, information, and action. Please join me in welcoming Bliss Eniobayo. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining. Personally, I would like to thank everybody who is here at the moment, and I would also like to thank everyone on behalf of the Career Motivers for honoring our invitation to join this webinar. As much as it means something to you, as much as it means something to you that you know that, okay, we are trying to impact you and also teach you new things, it also means a lot to us that you have made our time to join. Okay, so yes, as she said, my name is Bliss Eniobayo, and yes, Bliss is fine. My apologies. Bliss is fine, and this evening, we are going to be talking about beyond your degree, how to get opportunities, basically, how to get opportunities outside of school, outside of the four walls of school, beyond your degree. And I personally decided that I'm going to leave all the listing of points and the so many explanations for. I'm going to leave that for the other speakers because we have one more speaker and we have two more panelists. But I am going to be sharing my own perspective and my own personal story of how I came about, everything that I came about, and how somehow the little things that you probably think didn't matter at the beginning of your life actually do matter a lot. So I hope that you are ready to take or to ride on this journey. And if you know someone who registered who is supposed to be here, please notify them that we have started, because we would not want to answer or go back to answer the questions that we've answered in to answer the questions individually that we've answered in the individual sessions. So if you are with me, just drop a yay, just drop YAY in the chat box. My apologies, I'm slightly ill, so please forgive me if you hear me coughing and drinking water. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If you are just joining us, welcome. Welcome. Okay, so yes, back to my story. Now, personally, everybody um everybody would say, oh, when they read my bio, they would say, okay, Bliss started her first business at 12. Well, that is not a lie, because yes, I actually did start my first business at 12. And I remember then it was just this random thing of wanting to just sell. Fine, there was a situation at hand then that needed me to make money, but I just wanted to sell. So I could not look at a thing without seeing how to make profits from it. I couldn't look at a thing without seeing how to uh make profit, how to make it a business. So I'm going to be connecting a lot of dots. So I want you to pay attention to every single thing that I'm going to say and how it has formed the person that I am now. Also, I have my dad is a system analyst. Is a computer analyst, and I started using a computer at the age of 8. I think the age of 8 or 9. I had my own desktop where I would play very like some complex games, yes, and then I would also use Microsoft Word. So when I was getting into my junior secondary school, when my mates were learning how to use Microsoft Word, Paint, Excel, all those things, I was very much familiar with them. Then all through secondary school, I would always stop my class when it comes to ICT. Of course, I did well in my other subjects, mathematics, all those stuff. But yeah, I would also always stop my class when it comes to doing projects, and my projects was always different from every other person's project because we had a printer in the house, and then my dad's office, he would print, do all the paparazzi of all the projects and it was, the projects were so solid that I still have those projects from junior and senior secondary school up till date. That's how solid they are. Like, I do not have like I have perfect scores when it comes to this type of things. And on the other hand, I was also selling something. So I remember that in GSS1 I sold biscuits, I sold sweets, then I would save the money. Same thing for GSS2. When I was finishing GSS2, I started, and yes, I had a side business also apart from my main business. So I was also helping people to write notes because I had a very beautiful handwriting. I still have a very beautiful handwriting. So I have people meet me that, oh, they want me to write their notes, they want me to do their assignments, a bit here and there and there, and there I'll collect 15 naira. The one that I don't collect 15, I'll collect your donuts, I'll collect your puff puff, I'll collect your food, you pay me. Some will even carry me out of the school to go and get something to eat. But I was doing all of this, and then I'll get the money, I'll use it to buy extra things for myself. Then up till JSS3, then up to JSS3, I started learning how to make beads. I learned how to make beads. Then I would also sell. I remember the very first bead I sold for 3,500 naira. My God. And I'm talking 2012. Was that 2012? I'm talking 2012 here. Imagine selling something then for 3,500. Ha! Woble. You and your friends, they will know that you are in town. So, my friends and I were doing all of those things. And yeah, back then, SS1, I continued with my usual assignments thing. I would help people with their projects. Then SS2 came, and I wrote my work in SS2, right? And while I was finishing my work, now before all this, as at SS1, my mom was a nurse. Yeah, I say was because she's late. So she was a nurse. So, and we had a pharmacy. Like, so I would help her to, after school, I would help her to like get the stuff that we are selling. I would either follow her to the market, or then she would give me huge amount of money, to wrap inside nylon. And then I already had market OT and all these things. So I would go and pack a lot of cartons. Now you may be feeling like, what is the point of everything that I'm saying? But don't worry, you are going to get the tea at the end. Now, yeah, I'll go and pack a lot of cartons, and you will see a very tiny girl. I've been the same size since just 2 or 3. I've been the same height. My height have not increased. So imagine someone that is like 5'2" or 5'3" that is packing like 10 cartons of Indomie with bag, with everything, with her shorts and her black top. And if I will do ace, she too, she will do ace. You get? So I already had all those things. And then SS2, I saw where they were selling jeans. So then I didn't have a lot of clothes. So I wanted to have a lot of clothes. So what did I do? I started selling jeans. So I went to actually buy jeans for myself, but I saw the jeans and I was like, if they can sell these jeans for me for like 1.5, if I reach my house, I can sell it for like 3K now. So the jeans I bought, I ended up selling it to somebody. I didn't wear it. So I went back to buy more jeans, and then I started selling. Then I started having more clothes. All right. So the profits from my jeans selling, I would use some of them to buy clothes for myself, and then I would use some to buy more stuff to sell. And then my business started expanding. So I called it Bliss Collections then. And then I started selling makeup stuff. I started selling makeup, skincare, primer, name it, primer, brushes, concealer. I was displaying a lot of things at the time. In fact, I still have some of those pictures. And then SS2 passed. I didn't do SS3, so I was at home. I was still doing all my small business. And then when I was attending job lesson, I would carry a full pack of popcorn to my lesson. And guess what? If that popcorn, if you remain it, like, let's say out of a pack of 30, I only bring like 4 5 back home on the very very good days. Even on the bad days, I'll sell half. Get? So I will persuade you, you must buy popcorn. And then when anytime I did not bring popcorn, everybody in the lesson is like, please, you did not bring popcorn. Like, sorry, there's no popcorn today. Then after that lesson day, the next day I have to go to the market, get my stuff, get stuff for my mom and all of those things. Now, all this came, and I think 2019, I had to go to Ibadan to go do something. And then in Ibadan, I still sold something. Yes, I was helping my auntie to sell something. I still sold something. In the lesson that they put me, yes, I was painting nails. I was fixing nails for people. I was painting nails. That time I would paint your nails, your toe and your finger, fix it for you for 500 naira. I will paint, I will collect my money. Okay. And that passed. And then when I came back to Lagos in 2020, I decided uh I was going to learn fashion designing. So I went to a fashion school, and then these collections continued. Then I started sewing for people. Now, if you look very well, I have counted a lot of things that I have done. I always tell people that the only thing I have not done in this life is to sell human parts. Like, I don't think I've posted car before. I've done real estate. We are getting there. We are still in secondary school. I'm not yet done. I'm not done. Now, I then started fashion designing. Now, when my mates were learning fashion designing, all of us were learning together. Okay. And they were not like very confident to collect. Me, I collected clothes. Like, while I was learning, I already opened the business. Me, I collected clothes to sew. Others were waiting to finish, so but me, I was collecting clothes to sew. Okay. And then I got admission into school. Now, when I got to school, I couldn't take my laptop with me, so I was doing menial jobs. I can cook. I like cooking when I am in the mood, but I can cook. So then in school, I sold ewa going. I did caterer. If you have small gatherings, I'll cook you spaghetti. I'll cook you jollof rice. My fellowship, they ate my food very well. What can I not cook? I'll cook fried rice. I'll cook. And that time I sold ewa going. There's like, if you enter my DM and say, please, do you have this thing? I'll say yes. Because I know where they will buy. So there was a time I even bought my power bank at Alaba. And so I was like, please, how much do you buy this for power bank? I added my own money. I said, don't worry, bring the money. I'm going to help you to buy it. I'm that kind of person. I'm that kind of person. So yes, I was doing all the menial jobs. I was doing all the menial jobs, and just to keep up. And at the end of the day, I brought my machine to school. Now, at the time I brought my machine to school, I already had a LinkedIn account. Now, if you even go to Instagram now, go and check Deluxe Styling. That was the name of my brand when I changed it from Blitz Collections. Okay. Now, I'm taking it somewhere. Now, from Blitz Collections, I jumped to Deluxe Styling. I changed it. So I changed it to Deluxe Styling, yeah, and then I was sewing for people. I would sew for people in church. I would sew for people that I know. I sold, I got money. I sold, I got into trouble. But what did I do? I did not stop sewing. My cocoa is that money must be made. Okay. Sleepless night. There was a time I can never forget in my life. The time I did not sleep for like 3 or 4 days just because I was making bridesmaids dresses. And I made sure that I finished them. It was chaotic. Oh, very, very chaotic. Especially because my apartment was small. But I made sure that what? Money must be made. Now, as at the time I opened my LinkedIn account, that was in 2023, I was not serious like that. So, but on my LinkedIn, then I still have a screenshot, but unfortunately, I will not be able to share, right? I wish I could. Now, my page then, I didn't have a headshot, I didn't have anything. What was there was, and yes, I was studying chemistry. I was like, I sing in church. So, yes, on my headline, you will see music minister, you will see fashion enthusiast, you will see, as maybe, was he final chemistry student. I think I wrote like aspiring graduate or something. I shall jam everything. But what did I do? I opened that account. I wasn't exactly posting. I did not post until my birthday in 2024. Okay. That was the very first post I made. But then I was sending out connections to people. I wasn't even paying attention to the app like that. Okay. But what did I do? I was consistent at the little commitment that I said I was going to make. And I started seeing, at some point, I started seeing what other people were posting. And I was like, I can do these things. Now, remember that I have a background in computer knowledge, IT, and all those things, right? Exactly. So there's basically nothing that you give me to do that I don't think I can do. Like, I will figure it out. So I started seeing what they were doing. I was like, this thing not pass to press laptop now. Oh, I've edited books before, I've transcribed. I'm a very good English, like I can speak good English, a brighter grammar. I read it 1 to 4 multiple times till I finished secondary school. Okay, so I have sense. I actually have sense. I've read books. Oh, I wrote my first book in GSS 3 too, but we did not publish it, somehow. Okay, so I saw what people were doing on LinkedIn, and I'm like, it's the same thing that all of us, like, I know what you are doing, right? It's just that I'm not in a good place to actually do this thing now. And then by the time I grew my account from 2024, because I started growing it active in 2024, from 2024 to 2025, which was last year, I noticed that immediately I got to 10,000 followers. Immediately I got to 10,000 followers, or I was close to 10,000 followers. People started asking me questions, and they were like, "Oh, Bliss, how are you doing this thing?" I wasn't even taking it seriously like that. All I was doing was to keep the little commitment that I have found to keep, like that I have found with myself. Okay, so me keeping this little commitment, then people started asking questions. Oh, Bliss, how are you doing this? Oh, Bliss, how are you doing that? And that was how I fell into LinkedIn strategy. Now, immediately I entered LinkedIn strategy. The reason it was not strange for me to evolve or to mix or to find myself was because what I have background in many other things. Now, let me tell you that beyond your degree, beyond school, one of the major things that you need as a person is survival skills. Let me start from there. If you don't have survival skills, forget about it, because let me tell you the truth. All the tech skills, and some of them may look like, oh, they are going to take a lot of time, but first of all, you need survival skills. And I'm not saying the act to know how to fly fence, but survival skills can simply mean like knowing what to do at a particular time, like where you are at the moment. So first of all, you need survival skills, and I'm saying resilience, the ability to be able to push till the end, the ability to be able to discern and judge the situation that you are. Okay, so beyond your certificate, trust me, I'm not the best person to advise when it comes to reading your books. I'm not. I'm gonna be very serious, because I did not even like the course that I studied. So studying it was a lot of problem for me. I need to say it. But if I stand beside the people that we went to school together, there's a clear difference now. There's a very, very big difference. So now I want to also tell you that you see those skills that you have, those, maybe you sold something for your mom, or you help somebody to do this, do not undermine those skills, because they are still going to be pointers to the things that you are going to do. They'll be very, very useful to the things that you are going to do. So let's say that while you were growing up, your mom or your dad told you that you have to go to a cyber cafe and learn how to use computer, and then you think that that skill is very, very much irrelevant. I promise you it is not. I put it to you that it is not. One of the things I want you to do after tonight's session is to sit down and think of every experience that you've had, because those are the pointers to the things that you are going to do. Some of you are just going to stand up and say that, oh, you want to learn social media marketing, or you want to learn digital market. Sorry. You want to learn digital marketing. But trust me, that's probably not where your calling is. So now other people are probably going to tell you, oh, this is what they did, and I've told you what me I did. Okay, I've told you what me I did. And on the other hand, apart from all these things that I've done, I'm a very ardent see, for every single time that I did not get an opportunity to probably maybe attend class or something, I will be in my house reading books. So there was an habit I formed in 2023. Okay, in 2023, from between 2023 to 2024, I started this habit July 2023. And what did I start doing? I started buying books, 2 books per month from my allowance. Now, everybody called me a stupid person. The people I was living with legit told me that me, I'm using my food money to buy books. But is it paying off now? Yes, it is. So, magic, calculate it from July to the end of 2025, July 2023 to the end of 2024. And that does not mean that I've not bought books this year. The earlier this year, I bought books, what was it, 11,000 or 15,000 naira, just in January. Just in January. So now there are like little like habits that I formed. out of my own personal life that made it a difference. So make little commitment to yourself. Okay, so I'm going to read this, I'm going to read that. Those are the things that are going to set you apart. Like I said, I'm not here to list 10 things that you have to do. I'm coming to speak directly from my own life experience. Whatever, any other thing that you can pick, any other thing that you can pick from everything that I've said, no one, please pick it. But my own is this: you must have survival skills. You must be able to like think, you must be able to know what exactly to do in what situation. And you are not supposed to sit down and be waiting for the opportunities to come to you. Now, even if you are going to look for the opportunities or they are supposed to come to you, what will they find? So let's say, oh, they need maybe a public speaker, and then they come to you and say they need a public speaker. How prepared are you for that thing? How prepared are you? Because beyond getting opportunities, there is a character, there's an attitude that will sustain it. There are some things that I have gotten that if I probably did not qualify or I did not meet the standard of that thing, it is going to fight back. There's currently an application that I'm supposed to submit since last year. I've been contemplating submitting an application since last year. And the only thing that is ringing in my head is that, please, are you sure you are ready for this thing? But guess what? I'm seeing people on LinkedIn that I'm very, very sure that they don't know half up to half of the things that I know that are like applying for it, and they're getting it. But I guess our intentions and our motives are different. So these are like two things, three things here and there that you can put together. So beyond the hunger of, oh, I want to have opportunities, oh, I want to get a job, sit down and think very, very well that, oh, if you get a job, are you sure they are not going to sack you? Some people here, they don't know how to write emails. Like, you don't know how to compose emails. You don't know how to probably send emails. You don't know how to use things like Google Workspace. Now, these are like, I'm going to be mentioning some things that you must learn to use as a like the basics. You must learn to use. In fact, they are part of, should I say, the tech space survival tools. Google Workspace in general, Google Drive, Google Sheets, Google Docs, Google Notes, anything Google. Go and learn how to use it. Gmail, go and learn how to send emails. Go and learn how to edit fonts. Go and learn how to bold. Just simple, simple things that differentiate. There was a video I saw on Instagram. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I don't know if you probably saw this video about how they rejected someone because the person used, oh, for other reasons, yeah. But the person got a reply from the people and they said, oh, he wants to come and train their staff, but he used 4 different fonts in the email. It is the little things that make you different. It is the very, very, very tiny, minute things that makes you different. Okay, so with this viewpoint of mine, I hope I've been able to make my points, because the point I'm trying to drive is this: that your skills, yeah, you don't need like 150 skills to actually get opportunities outside your degree. Number one. Number two, do not downplay the time that you currently have now. Maximize the time. Take courses on YouTube. There are a lot, most of the things I know are on YouTube. As I am like this, the least number of videos I watch on YouTube is 5, at least one a day. And there are days that I wake up in the morning, I sit down with it. That's what I do. That is what I do sometimes for the whole day. I put my mind that, oh, these are the things I want to learn. So when you do a check, oh, okay, so what are the things that people are complaining about? Or let's say people say you lack communication skills. Go to YouTube and check communication videos and start practicing, because it is not only learning. Like, a lot of people also have the problem of learning but not executing. So as you are learning, execute. Maximize the time that you have now, because I promise you that when you leave school, you will not be feeling like your life is wasting away. So that you will not feel like that, because I tell you that, if me, sometimes I used to feel like my life is wasting away too. I used to feel like that, and I'm not jobless. I am not jobless. But there's just that thing that comes with when you are not performing the way you want to perform. But so that you will not be at the lowest point that, oh, you don't even know how to do anything at all. Like, is, oh bad, you don't know how to do anything at all. So you will not feel like that. make sure that you are very, very intentional about the things that people say about you, about the skills that you want to have. Now, these are soft skills. You can start from learning soft skills. The skills I learned first, they were soft skills, maybe some technical skills, yes, but most of the skills that I had were soft skills. With this viewpoint of mine, I'm coming, please. With this viewpoint of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that you should have skills outside your degree. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that impactful session. It was truly, truly amazing. I learned for us to stay relevant. That's very important. So now we'll be moving on to the next speaker. And I sincerely want to appreciate Bliss for that beautiful session. And I know that everyone has been able to take practical lessons that we can start applying. So our next speaker is someone who is using creativity, leadership, and purpose to inspire young people and create meaningful impact. Temiloluwa Bolawole, popularly known as That Poet, is a spoken word poet, global peace advocate, founder of the Peace Scholars. He serves as UNICEF Generation Unlimited Nigeria Young People's Action Team and is also a Lagos State Youth Ambassador, championing youth development. Through poetry, leadership, and peace building, it inspires young people to use their gifts and voices to create meaningful impact. Please join me in welcoming Temiloluwa Bolawole.
Did you guys know your voice? I'm in a class.
Over to you, sir. Kindly unmute. Kindly please mute yourself as well, everyone. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Fatima. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Okay, kindly
Mm.
hear me clearly.
Yes, we can.
Thank you very much. I first of all want to apologize for just joining in. I had to be in another session before now, and it extended to our time. Okay, thank you so much, Bliss, for the invite. And I mean, the part of the session I got to hear, that was amazing because it's a point that I would also be emphasizing also. So well done to the organizers and the team that put this together, and to every one of you that are present in this call. So I want to believe people on this call are students. If you're not the student, I see some recent graduates that I am acquainted with also on this call. Congratulations to you, by the way. Don't worry, this will be tailored to fit whatever demography you fit in. So I want to talk about, or the webinar for today is all about building beyond your degree and how to position yourself for opportunities. If you listen to my bio, yeah, I mean, Timothy Obalawale is a spoken word piece, is a poet, is a blah, 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 and all of that. And a lot of people that listen to the bio that I've actually engaged with would come out, how did you have time to do all of these things? No be the same LASU we did. I was a LASU student, so you pardon the code switching, yeah, pardon the code switching to emphasize the point. So in quotes, no be LASU you did. Are they paying you somewhere? Are you doing? And they keep wondering how all of those things came to be. I would like to start with a short story of how I came to a realization that kind of shifted my perspective. So before entering LASU, I had a gap year, 1 year, right, at home. And I mean, with African parents, you know how African parents can be now. So it was a quest to ensure that I leave the house by the next year. And during that 1 year period, I didn't really do much, right? I was always from the house to church. I did a lot of things in church, right? But house to church, house to church. But I was lucky enough to have someone that stood as a guide. My older brother, right? He went to school, we did a lot of things, volunteered had access to certain opportunities and a level of exposure. So he would come back and tell us stories. For me, I'll listen to those stories. I mean, I'll be inspired and like, okay, when I get to school, it's very interesting because I cannot bring this out. Like, basically the reaction of a regular or an average Nigerian student who is tired of being at home. And it was time for the second admissions process that I did with LASU. The first one I could not get in because of age. The second one, I decided to like just put in, and I put a course. I put mass comm. I didn't get mass comm. I did both streams. LASU used to have stream one and stream two, and you could apply for admission on both streams. You could get lucky in stream two if you did not get in stream one because stream two was relatively expensive, right? And I did both, and I got admission to study peace studies. Had never heard of peace studies in my life. What on earth was peace studies? Major factor at that point. But I also had a level of clarity. When I mean a level of clarity, my relationship with God at that point had been solidified. I mean, I was always going to church, but beyond going to church, I actually found God. There are ways where there are holes you'll be in that you will just have to find God, like find God and hold inside. So I had a glimpse of what the future I was ordained to live was going to look like. I mean, international policy influencing came very clear as it was international policy influencing. And when I did my study on peace, I'm like, okay, this is in line with what God has said. How timely. I decided to accept the course. And people kept on asking me, what are you now going to use peace to do? Do you want to become a pastor? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And let me just cut this short. It was draining at the point, right? I wanted to change courses. The plan was to get into school and change courses because you have to be prepared for the Nigerian job market. But I stopped at a point and I asked myself, made the rules that you must first go to school, study a particular course, finish your graduate years, then start making impact or start living a particular dream or start making a particular thing that you've always thought of, that dream that you've always envisioned. It is until you finish school and do NYSC. Let's add NYSC too, because that's what parents will believe, that you have to finish NYSC also. Who made the rule? And it was at that point when I was in 100 level, I decided that I might not break rules. I don't like to break rules, but that rule, I will break it. I was not bound by systems. I'm not bound by systems. And that's the first step I want everyone here to take. Like I said, this is beyond you being a student right now, or if you just finished school, or if you have a job at the moment. Break the rule that says there is a linear path to success, or that there is a way that you must first trod. There are a series of systems that you must first live by before you actualize what you need to actualize. Now that I've established that, and we are going to agree that after this session from all other speakers and all of that, we are going to break this particular rule. Don't go and break rule that will end you in jail, please. Oh. And you now say it's that point, or you read it at the beyond degree. This I did not tell you to go and see. If you go and break rules, see how they are beating thief this period. Well, on a lighter note, let's move on. So now that I've established that breaking some rules, in case you just join the call and you hear break the rules, it's basically you stopping and telling yourself that I'm not going to live within the system that the world has chosen, or a particular formal system, because who made those rules, right? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to live my life beyond that. So we've talked about that. Let's talk about the triangle life of a student. Again, I'm just touching bits, then I'll emphasize my point that I have. Now, after getting into school and making this decision, it was a very funny one, because when people would tell you, Timmy, this course you are studying, you don't have job, oh, you don't have this, oh, you don't have that, oh. And in my head, I'm like, okay. I know the course I am studying in the system that I find myself currently. I am at a disadvantage. I did not lie to myself. I studied peace in a country that only favors certain level of skill and certain level of degrees, right? I knew I needed to do beyond the normal because I am no longer on the path of the normal again. So what did I have to do? I started aligning or writing out what or things that I would need to actualize the vision I had in mind. Now, this will take me to what I like to emphasize in any session I go to. There's a framework I developed in 100 level that kept me, and God willing helped me with the exploits I did and I'm still doing. I call it the why and how framework. It is very simple. Why, as in your purpose, why you do things, you do the spur, the things that fuel you, that fuel you. In case you do not understand that, pardon, that fuels you, and makes you want to do certain things beyond the ordinary. Basically, your dream, right? That is your why. Why? When they ask you why are you doing this, what's your purpose? Why? Then your how or the hows. So I like to say that the how is made up of various routes. It's not just one, right? You have different ways to actualize that your why. So what are those things? Tell me. You know, you are going to be alive. You were going to, or you had a glimpse of what God had already shown you and what you now have. So God had shown me, I had accepted it because I came to understand that it was actually also glamorous and it was beautiful, right? So how are we going to get there, right? And as I had to sit down and ask myself all of this. School was top priority at that point. So academics, we're going to do well academically, regardless. We're going to do well academically. That was not a negotiation. One, we'll take our life serious, spiritual life seriously too, because that's what got the journey started, right? Then we know that we cannot just be going from class or from our hostel to school to class, to our hostel, school, or class to church, and be living a triangular life. Now, this will take you to my next point. After breaking the rule, that rule I told you to break, ensure you do not live a triangular life. In whatever you do, please. If you are living a triangular life currently as a student, the only thing is you wake up, you go to school, you come back, you wake up, go to school, break. Whatever you do, break free from that triangular life. You were not called to live a triangle. Why would you be living triangle? It's not even square, it's now triangle. Why? Just three sides? No, you cannot do that. So I knew I needed to break beyond all of that, right? And this was where identifying my hows and writing it down came into play. So you found your how and your why. Okay, this is what you are doing. This is how you're going to do it. It has been clearly defined. So your why, your reason, your motivation for your actions, you need to write it down. So when you are taking the actions of under the how part, the ways, the how is simply the ways and strategies you want to actualize this, you would know that this is the reason why you are doing it. I don't know if Bliss talked about SMART goals, but I'm sure some of you would have known about SMART goals. So SMART goals fall under the breakdown of how, right? You could use that to develop that. So for someone like me who wanted to influence national policy, I would use myself as an example because I'm like the perfect example I can use right now. I had certain things written down. I had the talent of poetry, or I started, yes, I had the talent of poetry. It was a talent initially. It wasn't refined, but it was a talent I knew I had because when I'll be reading Bible verses, then I read it in a beautiful way or in a different way, and people noticed. So it was a talent I knew I needed to refine. So I had to write it down. Okay, poetry is one of those ways. There was someone that was already doing, I was lucky enough to find someone who was already doing the same thing that I had been shown with poetry to mirror, maybe just look. So I did not have connections with the person at that time. It was just, oh, this person is doing it. Let's follow or understand how he's doing it. So that was the how. Write your how down. Poetry was one. I wrote it down. I knew poetry was not going to be enough, right? I needed to ensure that other things would be in place. Skills that will keep me going, because poetry would require me volunteering at the early stages. Volunteering was there at the early stages of things. I wanted to be a good poet and also show myself, because showing myself was one of the ways that people told me I would access opportunities. Another key part of this talk is opportunity part. But we first need to talk about the positioning. If you notice the flow of what I've been talking about, this particular section is all about positioning for the opportunities that will come. I'm sure many of you are familiar with a moving man would always meet his luck, right? If I don't think anybody here would not have heard that. And if you've not heard it before, you're hearing it now. A moving man would always meet his luck. So moving on. I don't know if you saw what I did there. But anyways, like I was saying, so this is about positioning. You've identified your why, your how, you're writing down your hows now. Volunteering is part of them. Volunteering gives you access to stages, gives you access to platforms, to people. You get to meet like minds, networks, right? This would give you and position you in a place that you would be in motion to meet opportunities, and also opportunities would be able to meet you when they are coming. If you're getting what I am saying, do react. And yes, just react, use the reaction emoji to see you're still following through. Now, moving on. Thank you very much. All right. So we've broken down all of this. Let's talk about getting our values up. You see, I'm not talking about the opportunities you can get or the platforms you can get the opportunities from right now. I'm still talking about positioning. Because many people want the end goal, but they do not know how to get the end goal they desire. Or they just, I mean, it's attractive, the suits, the ties. Seeing it might not even be in my field now. Let me not be field sensitive or field conscious. Let's talk about other fields. It could be singing, the field of maybe you want to be a musician. I have a lot of creative friends. It could even be in fashion. Fashion is something that I'm currently exploring, because maybe not exploring personally, but exploring because I have friends who are actually doing great in fashion, modeling. It could be that volunteering will keep you. It could be that. So positioning is very key in all of those aspects. And this is why I'll now be going to getting your value up. Now, when we talk about value is something that attracts. I mean, gold is valuable. Gold is something we want. Each and every one of us want, because our value, it has value, right? It has value. So it attracts us. Value attracts. Value attracts. Excellence attracts excellence. Value attracts value. A short story. So I'd like to know how many minutes I have left.
That's 3
Sorry?
3 minutes.
Amazing. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So value attracts value. A few weeks ago, you see that person I was saying I was following for a while. I did not get the attention of this individual until I got to a point where the value of this individual, or the excellence that this person has reached, to identify that, oh, this person possesses quality. And he sat me down and gave me more tips on how to get better. Value attracts opportunities, and how to also get more opportunities and position for more opportunities to come. And trust me, since the talk we had, that short talk we had, because I was able to get to a point, or I've been able to develop to a point where value comes and meets me. It's shaping the kind of quality of engagements I have and opportunities I receive. Now, we've talked about value, attracting value. We've talked about your how, your why, all of those things. Now, soft skills, getting your value up. Liz talked about this, communication skills, critical thinking, all of these, they're very, very key. You might be the best cinematographer ever, but if you cannot communicate properly, I won't hire you, because you can't communicate your value to me. If you cannot be polite, or your character is bad, I won't want to work with you. So that's that. Then building structures. You see, we've talked about opportunities being beyond your degree. I don't want to emphasize, it is clear and simple. I'm not saying that you should not go to class, you should not attend classes, you should not be the best student. Trust me, be the best. It is beautiful. You can do both. Nobody's telling you have to go to, I am living proof. One of the reasons why I made the resolve when I said I want to break that rule is because people say, oh, you need to focus on your book and all of that. I wanted to prove to them that I can focus on my book and still do all of those things. And yes, I finished with the first class. It's for this is the major reason why this particular session is the major reason why I made that resolve, that first class that people were saying you cannot get, I will get it. Because I just needed people to understand that you do not need to follow one particular line. It's not necessary. So we've established that it is beyond the classroom. Identify what you want to do in the classroom, how the classroom is a means to an end, and how you also have other ways, other hours written down, right? I'd have to round up right now. I have like 1 minute, yes. I'd have to round up right now. But you've identified the other hours. Now, you've positioned yourself properly. You've identified various ways. Volunteering is a key part of that, those various ways that you would actualize your whatever vision you have in mind. Network, networking. And when I talk about networking, everybody goes, "Oh, I go to an event. I like to end. I'll end with this. I go to an event, right? And there's a speaker speaking, or for example, if you are a last white here, or maybe you attend a conference in your school and they invite, let's say, Odunlade Adekola. Wow, he's coming. Let me go and meet him because I'm an actor and blah blah blah. That's not networking. Trust me, the chances of you being able to access that man at that point is 0 to none, because every other person is thinking like you. What you want to do is network horizontally. Those kind of networkings are very good if you've gotten your value and been able to identify that the value this person possesses is something you want. Now, this is also in terms of organization wise, because you have to apply for opportunities and all of that. But when it comes to networking as a key part, ensure you network horizontally. If you go to a conference and you sit down beside somebody, you see that person being in that conference, it means that person has connections to other conferences. Because I mean, if you are in the same space as me, I want to believe that we are like-minded, meaning you are also chasing something that aligns with what I'm chasing. So why not get your contacts? Most of the opportunities I have gotten till now, I've gotten them because I went to a conference, and instead of running, or I went for an engagement, or I was going somewhere and I had a bubbling personality. I was supposed to talk about personalities also, being choleric, phlegmatic, and all of that, and how you actually need to be a blend at major times. But I can't talk about that now. So, wrapping up, as I was saying, network horizontally, these guys will give you opportunity. You don't need to always chase the top. These guys are also working to the top. If you noticed, I don't know if you've heard of PayPal Mafia. Is it PayPal Mafia? These guys are like a group of people who have been building for a long while. Find your own set of people to build. This is why I talk about structures. So you have routine structures and um pardon, Fatima, I need to make this point, and I promise this will be the last one, right? Routine
Yes, that's fine.
routine structures and people structure. These two keys are very important. Now, why do I say this? In school, I had structures I built. It might sound selfish, but it's not. I had structures I built. Structures I built around my spiritual life, structures I built around academics, structures I built around my advocacy journey, structures I built around my personal development journey, especially when it came to public speaking and other soft skills, basically tied with advocacy journey. But I had structures, people structures. Now, these people will serve as checks and balance for me. I'm supposed to talk about phlegmatic and all of those personality traits, and how if you are one and you're lacking one, but cannot actually work with it, you have to find somebody. So you build a people structure around it. So in school, I had academics, like people when these ones, their own part is academics. They love book, and they are bookworms to the core. We had them as friends and we're cool. So mutually benefiting us, of course, you give, you take, all of those kind of things, symbiotic relationship. So whenever there was classes or there were tests, exams were around the corner, these people will serve as, oh, Timmy, come back. Oh, all those things you are doing outside school, you might need to pause it, right? And come back. I have people who are also feeding me opportunities. Timmy, UNICEF is having a call, apply. Most of the opportunities I got, I don't have any I like to tell people, I don't have any connection. It's not that my parents know anybody, one government house or international organization. I got them by applying because somebody somewhere like me, I met through networking, sent them to me. People structure. Now, routine structure. This is where you talk about time. You wake up, you sleep, you do all of this. It will help your life, right? Routine structure is basically having a structured time frame for your life. It might not be daily, it might not be weekly. For me, I didn't those oh, you wake up by 5 a.m. It didn't work for me, right? Especially because it's most times most of my engagements were spontaneous, right? But it could work for you. What I'm just saying is have long-term structural plans, especially if you're in school. As a student, once exam is approaching, maybe 3 weeks, you need to start reading. For me, 2 weeks to exam, I will lock in and I'll cancel every engagement. I will cancel every engagement except the engagements are very, very, very life changing. For example, I had one that I was writing final exams and I had to leave the country. So are you telling me after all my journey for 3 years, I will now miss that kind of opportunity? So I had to make a compromise, but I built structures that allowed me to do that. Take note of that, please. So time structure. You are going to school. Let's say you run a business in school, because many of you will tell you, oh, finish your book and don't do business. Please do business. Nigeria, if you have a business idea in mind and the only reason why you cannot start or all of that, maybe you are a fashion designer, you're saying, oh, I can't start because fashion design is time demanding. Please do it. You can do it with school. It's possible. Don't wait till after. You would regret it if you do it after. Do it alongside. But you can build a structured time frame. So I will take deals from my resumption dates to so time, focus in school during this period because I need to actually be at my top game. During exams, I don't take any others. I pen the others. Then after I will now go back to my work and deliver properly. Remember, we have talked about excellence, attracts excellence. So you are going to do all of this excellently. Please, you can do it. My major point for this session: break that rule. Nobody, it is somebody. See, I like to believe that the structure of our educational system or the structure of the world's educational system were designed by certain men who needed the world to work in a particular way to actualize a particular model objective for a particular period of time. So, for example, I'm sorry I'm going this deep. The colonial era required a level of people who were white collar jobs to run the affairs or the administration of the colonial era. So it stands for that period, and white collar jobs were the. So you will go to school, study particular course, banking, account. That's why banking, accounting are like and medicine were like the key courses that our parents today now on children. But it was for a period of time. Now the times have changed. You need to evolve. So because it has not changed completely, and there is a system that still actually accommodates that, you need to be at the top game, guys. Break the rule and don't live a triangular life. I've been saying Lulu Abalaoli, and I'm so excited I was able to share all of this. Over to you, Fatima.
Thank you so much for that impactful session. It was truly, truly amazing. Thank you so much. So now we'll be taking questions from anyone who has a question. Kindly indicate, or you can drop it in the chat for any of our speaker, and then I'll get to read it out. Thank you very much. I'm sure we have questions. If you have questions, kindly note it so we can treat it. Thank you. Okay. Yes, please unmute and ask your question. Oyekule, please
Hi,
unmute.
good
Thank
evening.
you. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you very, very much for this session. Thank you, Temiloluwa, and thank you, Bliss. I really learned a lot and I'm very grateful. My question is for Temiloluwa. I am someone with several, what word do I use? Multiple passions, let me say it that way. Multiple passions. I mean, I help business owners. I own a business as well. I do some other things on the side. And for someone like me that has not, they're not strict parents, but I was raised in a certain kind of way that we're not trained to, always go out, always mingle with people. And that affected me a lot, like a whole lot. I'm finally done with school now, though I have not convocated, but I'm finally done with school now. And now it's difficult for even my parents, right, to let us go out, do things. Not that they don't let us go out, but then we have to shalaye. We have to shalaye before we, eventually get the opportunity to go out. So my question is this: how do we navigate, or how do we do this? Because you talked about breaking rules. I mean, they made the rules, obviously. How do we make them understand, make them see what we are saying? Because I have very big dreams. Yes, I do. I want them to see it the way I am seeing it, though I know that they may not fully get the whole point. But then I really want to explore. I have stayed in this small world, let me say it that way.
Hi, can you hear me? Can you confirm you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I think our network is having some issues.
Okay. I want to confirm she's on the call before I start answering. So
I'll check that now. Yes. Yes, she's still on the call. I guess she's talking, but she's not aware that we can't hear.
Mm.
All right, maybe we'll just move on with another person's questions while she comes back fully. If you have any questions, kindly indicate, please. So are we sure that
The
we understood
question
anything?
box.
Yes. Okay, there's a question. Oh, right. Okay. The question reads, so how are you able to balance your academics and spiritual life without letting one stop another one?
okay, that's a beautiful question, and I would answer with honesty, plain honesty. It was a very, very big struggle. Now, the struggle was not even balancing spiritual life with academics, right? At a point, it wasn't balancing spiritual life with academics. It was just the spiritual life on its own, fitting in consciously to what I was doing, pay attention to God consciously, right? So initially there was no issue. At a point, it became an issue because you're doing a lot of things. I don't even think it was a lot of things I was doing. You are getting access to new information. So I was studying religions and peace, very funny stuff. Religions and peace. And I mean, as a religious student, you would question a lot of one of the things you are meant to do is question your religion. Well, as people call it, the construction. So there was a lot of this construction going on for me. And I mean, the whole drive I initially had to lock in with my spiritual life, it was very, very, very drained down. And I realized it was part of the journey, right? I came to the realization that it was a part of the journey, that the drainings would happen if you are disconnected from the source. So there was no source that would keep me going at that point. I was basically disconnected because I was focused so much on what I was doing, the academics, the social impact and all. And I mean, there was no personal time, there was no this, so basically the structured things that would keep you afloat, keep your future life afloat. But what made the difference for me was that I had to stop looking at it as a chore. So it's basically, if you look at it now, I think that's one of the issues we have in, we like to see modern day Christianity, or yes, modern day Christianity, is that we've made it seem like a chore to talk to God, to maintain. I mean, our spiritual life is basically maintaining relationship with our Father, right? We've made it a chore to do that. So I equated not showing up in fellowship or not being a part of a fellowship and being a consistent member with my spiritual life is going down. I was not taking my spiritual life seriously. However, I had been sent to outside. So it came to around 200 level, entering 300 level. I came to realization that this was a past, not even more like a revelation, because it was something I found time to pray about. I wrote poems about it, because how can you run from God? I know there's one that still rings in my head whenever I'm having that downtime. How can you run from God? Or how can you run from air when it is what keeps your lungs? How can you run from the sun when it is what lightens your day? How can you run from God? So in my head, I'm like, if you can't even run from God, it means God is there wherever you go, right? And I came to a realization that to actualize what I've been called to do, you cannot be confined to a space or tag your spiritual life. That thing would you would fuel that would fuel you. Tag it to a particular structure as fellowship. Now, don't get me wrong. At that point, fellowship was not a signal for my spiritual life. Now, when people say spiritual life, it is you balancing academics and going for fellowship activities. I had noted that because that was what the fellowship I was attending before made me feel. That's what I also felt. But I came to realize that spiritual life is your relationship with God and how you maintain that relationship based on the convictions you get. Also, and I mean in alignment with all of what the Bible tells you to do, right? So later on, after I came to this realization, my personal devotion was checked. I mean, you would see me talking to myself most times. Most times I'm in airports and I'm talking. I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to my maker as I'm walking and just gisting and ensuring that that consistency is there. So eradicating the need for it as a chore and just doing it as I mean, I don't know, some of you have girlfriends and boyfriends. I can't relate to what all of that, but I know there are certain roommates I had at a point that will just be on the call every time. Oh, this and it's maintained their relationship, didn't it? Is that not how it's maintained the relationship? So think of it that way. If just talking to someone consistently and just, I mean, what are you even talking about is, oh, my day Wednesdays and you are happy, you read the word. Oh, okay, this is what happened during the day. Beautiful. It's all of that. Now, don't get me wrong. The place for structured fellowship is there. And I came to realize again, based on my conviction at the next phase of my life, that, oh, go, you need to start attending a fellowship and taking it seriously. And that's when I joined the fellowship in church, on campus, PRM, in 400 level, which was meant to be like the most tasking level of all. And glory to God, I took it very seriously, right? I mean, I took it seriously. So it's not a chore. Changing the mindset that it's a chore would help a lot. But also falling in love with whatever secret place you have, or just falling in love with the whole process of talking with God. That's basically it. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. It's basically you and your father talking, or you and your friend talking. That's basically it. So with certain rules that you must follow too. Don't get that wrong. So that's that. I would answer Darasimi's question. She's on the call. I would answer Darasimi's question and just hand over so we can move on. I hope I was able to answer Oluwatoyin's question, or just give, even if I did not answer, point you in the direction of you going back to God and ensuring
Okay.
that balanced.
Okay, so I wanted to actually add something to that, and I'm just going to give you a break, like a routine of what my own day looks like as a student. So, for context, yeah, somehow the life that I had and the life that Temilua had in school were different. But the thing about people that know what they want to do, or like want to fight for the what they have in their mind, most likely if you look at it, is always connected. So then in school, yeah, I didn't have the privilege of, oh, someone exactly like funding me totally. Okay, so I had to work, right? I had to work. So then, so sometimes when my mates are in class, I would probably be at work, and then you will see me carry my bag from Ojo to Aja to the office, right? Because I needed to make money. So this was what my day was like. Simple. I would wake up by 3 o'clock. Now, 3 o'clock was my prayer time. Now, I was a minister in church. So that means that my spiritual life had to be on fire. Now, at a point, I was not also involved in fellowship activities, but me, I did not think of it as, oh, my relationship with God was going down. As per survival was the first thing on my head, and I'm also used to the fact that in my day I'm listening to sermons. And see, one of the things I think you need to know is the fact that as long as the pursuit is still there, as long as you find time, God did not say, oh, this is the particular time that you must find me. I don't know if you understand. So a lot of people make the mistake of, oh, if you said, oh, you were going to pray by 5 o'clock and you don't pray by 5 o'clock, that means your spiritual life is going down. It doesn't work like that. So for me, then I would wake up by 3 o'clock. Then when I wake up by 3 o'clock, I'll pray from 3, do my Bible study. Now I had an habit that also added to my life in general. After praying and reading my Bible or studying my Bible, I would read a chapter of a book at least. I would read a chapter of a book at least. So it is that source, like it is the strength that I've used even from my prayer. That is the thing that can make me to understand the book that I'm reading. You get it? So like I read my book, and by the time I'm done, I'm probably preparing for the class or for work, and then that was where also where LinkedIn came in, where the consistency with LinkedIn came in. And then I made sure that every Monday morning before I leave my house, I'm exhausting my LinkedIn connections every morning. It doesn't take 1 hour. So I got so used to it that as I'm dressing up for school, I am connecting with people on LinkedIn. Do you get? So if you remember, he said in what he said in his, like, when he was talking, he said routines. Like you have to create routines that end up become habits. So your routines, when you follow them for like a particular time, they become habit, and then you no need to force it. Right now, if you call me by 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., I'm awake. And that is because my body does not have a choice but to be awake at that particular time. Why? Throughout my university days, especially for like 2022, 2023, 24, I was waking up every day, 3 a.m. to pray. Okay. I hope that has also been able to like reinforce what he said. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much to both our speakers for that beautiful answer. We are truly grateful. And now I know, do we still have any other questions? If we don't, then we'll begin to proceed to the next segment. So thank you everyone for participating, for being here till this moment, and we do not take it for granted. So now it's time
Sorry,
for our
Fatima.
panel.
Hello, Fatima.
Okay.
And Darasi's question has not
Yes.
been answered.
She. All right.
She's here
Let
now.
me check in chat. Okay. Yes.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay. She's here.
Temiloluwa, do you want to answer a question? Right? You want to? Yes, she said.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, cool.
So, I, Darasimi, the fact that you've been able
Hi.
to identify your current date is very good. It is very, very good. So, I started my poetry journey in 2020, like officially, like started doing poetry on stage in church 2020. In 2021, I started doing it on stage, outside in secular spaces and all of that. And my first stage was an event, a creative event in Lagos Theatre in Gondo. I mean, Lagos Theatre was big, right? But before then, I had issues with my mom because I was always talking to myself. This was a period where I was home alone. I was at home. So I'm always at home. And when they get back, is either she's seeing me, I'm talking to myself, I'm walking, I'm talking. And she was concerned because if you are Yoruba or you are even African, if you talk too much or you talk to yourself, I think it's even psychological. They would think you are mad. And I had constant sit downs. Temiloluwa, stop this thing you are doing. What are you even doing? It's poetry. Which poetry? Listen, you're walking on the road. Someone had to tell me, like, all of those things. I had to buy an earpiece at a point. It was not until I saw a mad person on the road and I understood what they were talking about. But what I'm trying to point out, right, as funny as it is that they did not understand what I was doing till I showed them that what I am doing or what I am doing and I've decided to do is towards a goal. Come and see a glimpse of what I am talking about. So that event that I applied for, I ensured that I got my whole family to attend the event. So they bought the tickets and attended the event. Now, when my mother saw me performing, and after the performance, everybody came to meet my mom. Oh, that's beautiful. You are raising beautiful sons. Blah, 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 blah. It got to her head and she started supporting me. When is your next event? Do you need money for transportation? Blah, 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 blah. It became a little bit easy, but they are still your parents, right? They will still want to know your movement. What I'm trying to say is this. Have you been able, now that you've identified all you've identified, have you been able to show a level of responsibility that, oh, this is what I want to do? This is how I want to do it. I have started doing it in this capacity. these are the results to show for it. So, for example, you want to start volunteering. You know, right now you cannot volunteer or without permission. You cannot go out without permission. But they are volunteering engagements. You eventually get the permission. If it's for you to ask, there was a time I had to ask my parents if I want to go for an event next month. I would have asked them like 2 months. Oh, this event is coming up. Only if the event is happening, there's a time frame. So if there's a time frame for you now, let them know. Like, okay, they'll give you permission to go, right? Now they're giving you permission to go. Ensure that you find a way to document the experience, that they see, oh, this girl knows what she's doing. This lady knows what she's doing. Now, the other one, that's on the side, right? Is showing a level of responsibility. Being multifaceted is okay. I'm also a I have different things that I do by the side I don't even show. Like if I want to sit down and show all the things I do, all the interests I have, it should not be exhausted. And it is okay. Again, who made the rule that you must stick to one thing? Nobody. So if you can exploit, it might take you focusing on one. So I had a finance brand whilst I was in school, a trading brand and financial education. Some of you here might know me as the speaking trader. I had one. I needed it to sustain all the activities I was doing in school. So I focused on it at that period. It made the checks and balance I needed for that particular period. And I went with what I was doing. I paused it again because I knew I could not do. I found out it was experiential that I could not do both effectively. It could not be balanced. So one had to take center stage at a period of time. So one might be in the spotlight, but it doesn't mean the other one should just be forgotten. Now, let me now I have this friend that is just like, or was just like you. And I would like to say I was a positive influence, even though the advice I gave. So this one was a friendly advice because the person was my friend. But I would tell you the same thing I used to tell her. Sister, if it takes you rebelling, rebel. Now, pause. When I say rebel, I do not mean be disrespectful, right? Rebelling is very simple. In this scenario, you are done with school, as you said, you are not adults. I'm currently doing my NYSC, and that I'm thinking that, oh, I'm my mother's child now. I'm just a boy, soft boy. I'm coming to realize that outside there, nobody really sends you. You're already an adult. And that's the truth. So when I mean rebel, you want to test the waters. You have an engagement today, or you have an engagement tomorrow. Why not just wake up and tell your parents, I'm going so place, I'll be back by so time, and go. Or just go. Now, it might sound how I want to take Corona, but do it first. Try doing it. I mean, you get the reaction. You'll be shouted at. Whatever might happen. You did the first time. You did the second time. The third time. The fourth time. Before you know it, are you going out today will be the question they'll be asking you. Do you get? Because later on, at the end of the day, if you do not produce result and you know being outside, being exposed is necessary for your generation, maybe during their time, you're a lady, right? And I understand the times because of security issues. My female friends also say the same thing. Security issues, that's why they're extra careful. So, okay, I'll be out by this time, I'll be back by this time to ensure my own safety. But the times you are in are different. You need exposure for that. And being curved will do you more harm than good. So if you are not getting, if you cannot sit your parents down, I'm so age, I need to do certain things. I need a level of access. If you can't do that, I suggest maybe rebelling is not a good word. Just ensure that you show signs that, you do not, instead of taking permission the way you would ask as an undergraduate or someone that is still a child, you actually do it like an adult. So, I'm going to so place, or you're already even out of the house and just give a call. Okay, I had to take a detour, so place. I'm going to be back by so time. So it is not like you are asking for permit, only rebellion. Thank you. So what I am saying is not as if I'm saying it alone. It is backed up. So last 20 days of glories and events we have in my church, right? I invited my friend, this particular friend. She's a bit little in stature. I mean, doing great things right now. She's the academic structure I also put in my life. But I realized that her doing only academics at that point was not going to lead her to something very substantial. And I knew it. I needed to change it. The position I was rebel. So I took her to 20 days of glory. And that day, fortunately, what PM minister, Pastor Mavis ministered, was about this rebelling, but it wasn't tagged rebellion. I can't remember what it was tagged. So what I am saying, other people have given advice on it and it works. Right now my friend has a thriving business that she started in school and took seriously. It is thriving now that she's outside school, helping her to add to the funds from NYSC. Please, if it takes you rebelling, rebel, but rebel with respect and with wisdom. Thank you very much. I'd not give you bad
Okay.
advice, please. Oh,
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank
Not
you.
attend quarter. Sorry, oh my sistress. Let me say something. Ha 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 ha. I have a lot in the book to say. But I can't really say a lot because I'm currently in the same house that I rebelled from. But I'm just going to say, like I said, it is only rebellion, and I saw a lot. See, you will see a lot. Let me promise you that you will see a lot. Whenever you are doing some things, it will look like your heart want to come out of your body, but that's the best I can be. Your heart will not actually come out of your body. Just do it. Oh my God, you will do it, and you will thank God that you did it. So when it came to like church, yeah, at the very beginning of my life, my daddy didn't want me to attend Potters. Let me just try to be quiet. So he didn't want me to attend PTCC, and I knew that that was the church that God wanted me to go to. He wanted me to go to RCCG, blah 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 blah, or more. I would come home like this. The only thing that would be causing fight in this house is church. And everybody was fighting. Everybody was. There was a day that I just turned to him in the car and I said, "Daddy, don't say that about my pastor or my church again." Bam. See, there's some days that, Uma, it will enter your head. Like you will be coming. There is not all the time that you shout. Like I'm not saying you should shout, oh, but there are some times that you have to be assertive because it is your life. There are times that I've told the people, like the adults in my life, like, hello, you, okay, relax, okay. You cannot be telling me that this is this and this is that, and then all of us are here. It's the situation that all of us are. That's the situation that I'm trying to carry everybody out. So let's calm down. Let's be calming down. So at the end of the day, if they can see that you're making, so at the moment, yeah, if someone told me that if I came home my life would be a little bit easier than I thought it would be in my head, I would say it's a lie, because my daddy is Agule chamber one and I'm the first child, so the pressure is a bit much, okay. But when I came home, I already started making, it's not even, I already started making some moves, and then as I came home my dad could see that, oh, the things I'm doing, they're actually working. Okay, so he's giving me like, so the moment the things that you are doing, the moment they start to yield results, the moment they start to work, they will start like reducing their wallet. That's the way best way I can describe it. They'll start their hand will become soft. Okay. So you just have to like make sure you get to that point where the result of what you are doing starts to show. You have to fight for it. You have to literally fight for your life. That is what I say. You have to fight for your life. It's that simple. Thank you.
Thank you to both speakers for the beautiful responses. And I know we all have been able to learn one or two things. So now we're moving to the next segment of the session, which is going to be our panel session. Joining us first is Chioma Ilulu, a community manager passionate about helping students and young professionals gain clarity, build relevant skills, and grow with confidence. She has led fast growing learning communities through mentorship programs, virtual events, and community initiatives that encourage learning, collaboration, and intentional action. Kindly welcome Chioma. Thank you very much. And then the next panelist is going to be Samuel Lola, a young leader, a researcher, and civic advocate committed to expanding access to education, leadership, and technology across Africa. He serves as director for West Africa at SDG Youth Connect and vice president of Lagos State University Research Society. He's also been recognized as one of Nigeria's 1,000 Gen Z influencer and among the next 30 youth change makers. Please welcome Samuel, and I'm so excited to have both conversations with Chioma and Summer. and Samuel. So let's get right into the session. So our first question will be going to Chioma. Please, are you there?
Hello everyone. Good evening. I'm here and I can
Okay.
hear you.
All right then. Good evening. Good evening. So our first question will be going to you. Please, can you briefly introduce yourself and tell us what you currently do at the moment?
Okay. Good evening everyone. Good evening everyone. My name is Choma. I'm currently a community manager. I have experience building and like engaging professional communities, majorly educational communities. In my current role, I manage like community engagement. I coordinate events like mentorship programs. I work closely with like different teams to improve member experience, participation, and just overall community engagement. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Chioma. Samuel, over to you. Could you also introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Okay, hi everyone.
Hi. Good
Samuel
evening.
Matemlolwa, and I wanted to say a big thank you once again. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello? Okay, yeah, I'm audible. Okay. So
Yes, we can.
thank you very much, Fatima. I'm Samuel, and I currently serve as the director for West Africa at SDGs Connect, and I'm also a student. So unlike Timmy that said they were formerly students. Me, I'm still a student, right? And it's lovely to be here. I work on, I think, more of youth issues and civic issues in technology and the social impact space. So yeah, let's go.
Okay. Thank you so much for introducing yourself, both of you. Now, over to you, Samuel. Can you take us back to right? Okay. The question I would love to ask for you is how has you been merging school and also your passion hasn't been for you since you're still currently in school?
Mm, okay. Yeah, I think this is what Timmy talked about. I've been in the call since it started, right? So I think I'll revert back to what Timmy talked about. I think priorities for me has actually been one thing. I'm currently a student of Lagos State University. So the three speakers have spoken so far. I don't know about Chioma though, but I think I, Bliss, and Timmy still just one way past through the gas system. So, but me still in the system, I think it's very challenging, right? Because sometimes you just have to give preference to whatever matters at its time. So one thing is structures. As I said, I will have to revert back to what Timmy said. Structures are actually the best thing I need to use as the word to just frame how everything has been going right now. Because it's my third year, and oh my god, it has been lots. And that does not outweigh my academic skills. By the grace of God, I'm still on a very good 4 points, right? So, and but you see a lot of times I have to juggle all these things together just because of I have enough structures put in. It's not easy. Sometimes I have to leave examples and take an extra. Sometimes I have to skip classes to attend meetings physically with some local government chairmen and all of that. But most times it's still structures. I still have to put it at certain places. I still okay, yeah, at this time I'm working on this, at this time I'm working on that. So I think structures has actually been in the best way possible in a way. Discipline structures. It's not easy at starts. It takes a lot of time, but you just have to bind yourself into it because you're achieving something and you know what you want to see. I know the person I want to become in the next 5 years, right? So I have to put all these structures together to just make sure that it works for now, it works for then. So structures has actually been the very best way I have to say the word of being defining my school moment and my advocacy moment.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so much for that response. Now over to you, Chioma. I would also love to ask you the same question. Are you currently in school, or how have you been able to transition if you are done?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. No, I'm not in school, but
Mm.
I've actually been able to transition from one career path to another. I actually studied, I studied as a medical laboratory scientist, and I'm actually a community manager now. So it's been quite the transition, but it actually happened because I was able to just take a chance on myself. I think 2 years back, I decided to study product management. That was actually the start of my transition. I'm like, oh, okay, I'd like to work from home because being a medical laboratory scientist actually requires you to go for a proper 9 to 5. Like you go to work every day and you have to come. There are days you're actually on call. You know, the hospital setting, somebody has to be on call. You can be working on a Christmas Sunday, or like a Christmas Monday, or like New Year's Eve. I'm like, it would be really, really nice to be able to work from home. That was actually the mindset I had going into product management. I'm like, this, a couple of people now have the opportunity to work from home. Let me go into product management. And then I decided to join a cohort. I paid for the program. But in the course of studying the program, okay, I think it was a 3 months program. No, it wasn't. It was a 6 weeks program, I think. That program ran for 6 weeks. So at the end of the program, I saw a notice. I think the founders actually put out a notice that, oh, okay, they are looking for a community manager. If you know, you'll be able to just lead community engagement, do this, that. And I've never done this before. Bear in mind, like I've never done that before. And then somebody from my cohort actually reached out to me and she was like, oh, you were carrying people along whilst this program was going on. How about you just try and just apply and see where it leads you? And then I sent the founder a message. I'm like, oh, I saw that you put this out there, and I think I'll be willing to try for the role. That's, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly how I got myself into community management.
Wow, wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So following up on that, I want to ask a question. What was the opportunity? You just said it. What was the opportunity that changed the trajectory of your journey? And what do you think made you get that opportunity? So it becomes very clear for other people to emulate as well.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I think one thing that I actually advise everyone, especially at this level of your life, I'm going to give maybe two or three advice. So please just try to follow as you go. So one thing I feel like helped me in the course of my journey to actually be curious. I think the people who grow the fastest actually keep learning. So, in as much as your degree is foundation, learning shouldn't stop after graduation. So, just make sure that you're curious. If there's something you feel like you might be interested in, there's actually a lot of time to be able to pursue it at this level where you are right now. And another thing I would actually that helped me is that I wasn't scared of changing direction. So don't be so scared of changing direction. I feel like a lot of people that are successful today, they don't actually work in the field that they studied. So the world is changing, things are happening, technology. We're all here when AI started, and it has dominated the market and it's now everywhere. So it's actually important to being adaptable really, really helped me. So being adaptable at this level right now in this economy, in the world that we are, in the tech space, in the tech industry, is actually way more valuable, if you ask me, than trying to stick like rigidly to a particular plan, to a particular place, to a particular skill. So if there's something you are currently doing, and in the process of doing something, you find something else that you are more aligned to, that you're more comfortable with, it's something that you can actually pivot. So I feel like that's something that helped me a lot in the journey. I was adaptable, I was not so scared of changing direction, and I was curious. I hope that answered. Uh,
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now over to you, Samuel. I would also love to ask you, what was the opportunity that changed your journey, and how did you get that opportunity as well?
Oh, so opportunity that changed my journey,
Yes.
right? Uh, I think first time I've always been a techie. So time. So before getting lost, I always the guy that wants to do that since he was all but me. I didn't even have the idea. Right. So being a techie at some point entered into Lagos State University, and I started seeing LinkedIn. I said, okay, this is how it works. We talk about people. I applied for a program, right? So we were picked, 100 of us. It's a US. It was a summer boot camp in the United States, and we were picked 100 all over the world. Unfortunately, there was one representing the whole of West Africa, and I was like, I'm thinking, what did I do that was, I just started seeing that okay, what did I do really special that made me selected? I didn't get others selected because I know a lot of people applied, right? But I just continued like that. I just did the application and I got in. We're 100 picked all over the world, and I was the only one representing this region. And I think from that moment, that was a very big one for me because it exposed me to a lot of things. It exposed me to advocacy real. It exposed me to sustainable development goals. It exposed me to civic technology. It also exposed me to a lot of those big things. So I think just me joining webinars, just me trying to find out, okay, how does this work? My curiosity, just like what Chioma said earlier, my curiosity just led me to actually joining one of the biggest programs that I see could change my life. I think it's the Next Gen Leadership Academy that was held last, I think last year summer in Miami, United States. So I think that was a very big one, right? That was just it.
Okay, thank you so much, Samuel. Thank you so much, Jehovah. And that was a very beautiful conversation with both of you. And I'm very, very grateful. And I know that a lot of people have also learned so much from this conversation. Thank you. Our speaker had a lot from their life. And I just wanted to say thank you very much. Can we all unmute and say thank you for our speaker?
Thank you very much.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you everyone for that. Thank you so much. Now we'll be moving on to. So thank you very much everyone for participation. Thank you for being here today. And I hope today's conversation has reminded you that opportunities are something we prepare for intentionally. So right about now, I'll be handing over to Mr. Toby Akinyele for the swap review. Over to you, sir.
All right, guys, good evening. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Amazing. My time is actually really short, please, but so I have to be like super fast. Well, my name is Toby Akinyele. I currently am a creative strategist. And a quick history, right? Some 13 to 15 years ago, I graduated, and prior to that, I've had like really good tendencies. I think somebody who is like me that had 1,000,001 passion. I just needed expressions everywhere. But I think the break for me happened when I started designing graphics. So amongst my multiple expressions, it seemed like I needed a tool to help me harness everything and bring it all together. And that tool for me was graphic design. And graphic design many years ago I spanned into various other things. From studying civil engineering, right, into attempting graphic design, learning by myself, designing graphics, designing websites, owning a creative studio, pioneering multiple startups, working for foreign companies, and still building, right? Now that goes to show you the intention or intentionality that can happen and the progress that you can make with just a sheer determination to excel. And it's really important that we have that kind of drive. Bliss was talking about tenacity, drive, ruggedity. We need that in Nigeria as Nigerians, as young people. We can say the older generation has failed us in quotes, not everybody, like, but specific people, they've messed things up. And in a few years from now, it will be our children saying the same thing about us if we don't harness everything that God has given us, so much so that we can inspire a great nation, right? Which was why I've always been thinking, how can I really inspire young people? I've had to do a lot of things by myself, learn from the school of hard knocks, um, um, build knowledge in specific areas. Like I was going to university because I needed to be exceptional in that knowledge. So I didn't want it to seem like people feel, oh, did you really go to school? Right. So anything I did, it just felt like there was a hunger to be really exceptional in it. And thank God, God helped me. But I think it all starts from harnessing and actually discovering your passion. And it was Tolu, I think the other guy that spoke, talked about passion. I think every young person should discover their passion and then begin to harness that passion. The earlier you do that, the better for you in our country and then worldwide, as it were. And I thought about what is the quickest and fastest way to do this, which made me develop the Student Advantage Program. And the goal for this program is to inspire young people and give them like all the tools they need, including mentorship, all the tools they need to excel as students or as early as recent graduates, right? So what I did was put together like a 30-day program to help people, students and graduates prepare for life after school. And then the program itself is divided into 4 weeks. Week 1 where we try to discover your talents, your passions, and from specific exercising and questions you answer, we can create like a personal vision for you. And we then look at what kind of skills you can learn in line with that passion. Because again, I feel like the goal is to build a career with something that comes natural to you, so that you're not exerting so much energy. I mean, I can work from morning till night because I love what I do. It's stressful, but at the core of what I do, it's from a passion. I'm not being forced to work. I've had many 9-to-5. I still have a 9-to-5, but it comes easily because it comes from a place of passion, which is what I feel that many of young people are missing, and we should find time to develop that, right? So we focus on your skills. We look at specific things you can learn in terms of a skill and a career you can build, and we begin to look into major things that can make you stand out in life. How to build relationships, how to build your networks, how to harness groups and communities. And lastly, week 4, we try to like package your positioning with a strong CV. You discuss with Bliss, learn about LinkedIn, how to position yourself. I mean, I'd worked for, a case in point, I'd worked for many companies in Nigeria, and I just felt, hey, it's time I should actually work for international companies. And I started building thought leadership on LinkedIn. And randomly, a guy just messaged me asking if I could do some certain services. And I think throughout my course of relationship with that guy, if I'm not mistaken, I made many thousands of dollars. He was the sole one of the sole sponsors of my entire wedding, right? And then I made my first $1,000 from him. I didn't see him until like after like 2 years of working with him. But just because of his sheer determination and skill sets, he believed in what I could do. And I was just working with him like that. So yes, positioning online also greatly matters, and every young person or everybody that aspires to build a solid career should have that. We will not all travel abroad, but we can excel so much in Nigeria that it will look like we're abroad. And when that time comes, as many that will have the opportunity to do so, it will come so easily. I can't remember the last time I worked for a Nigeria company per se in terms of my 9 to 5. It's been foreign companies all through, working from Abuja where I stay in Nigeria as well. And it was just a sheer determination. Like, I'm tired of not earning as much as I want to. I'm tired of this, I'm tired of that. I'm no longer working for Nigerian companies. It took a while. It was very difficult. I had to put many things in place, but eventually it happened. It happened, right? So yes, pretty much this is what Student Advantage Program is. And then I have this also. This is one of my startup that is called My Spore. And then the goal for this is actually to onboard everybody that takes this program as a place where they can get hired from foreign companies. Like, so this is, I feel these are like core areas that somebody needs to start solving in Nigeria. And I've taken it upon myself to begin to solve it, right? So there's SAP, and I enjoy every student, every recent graduate to buy the course. It's with an investment of 10,000 naira. Again, the money is not even the case, because what we are trying to deliver here, it's career, the Places team, career multiverse team, is way above what the money is. But it's just a commitment that I feel like if you're spending money for something, you want to give in your best, no matter how it's right. So this is the payment link, but I wanted to show you what you do. So every day for the next 30 days, we focus on something. You watch a video and then you take an exercise afterwards. So they want reality check, discover your strengths, interest mapping, career exposure, have a personal vision, on and on up until day 30, where you in code graduate and have your certificate. And then personally, you work with me because after every week, you have a chance to book a call and then we talk about your growth and all that stuff. And then you work with Career Multiverse team as well to continue the program moving forward. I mean, my meeting bliss was just by happenstance. I felt that I couldn't do this on my own. I had other things I was focusing on, and I just needed this to launch. I hopped on LinkedIn, and then I was searching for people to work with, and I stumbled upon Bliss. And as God would have it, it's something she was already doing, and it just felt so natural discussing with her. And I felt like I just told Choma, who works with me as well, that man, Bliss is like the perfect person. Her and her team should actually pursue this. So this is the Student Advantage Program. Choma or Bliss can share the link, and I think for everybody that is coming from Career Multiverse, there's a coupon that you can use to get some percentage off from this fee. But pretty much this is what the Student Advantage Program is about. I can take questions. So if you have questions, please just ask me really briefly so we can wrap up. Thank you, Fatima.
Thank you. If you have
All
any
right.
questions,
Okay.
kindly write it in the- Yes, please.
Okay. Do we have like anyone with question? It's not just for students, actually. Sorry, we are trying to like fast track everything because of time. It is not only for students. If you are trying to learn a skill, if you are a recent graduate, if you are even a person that has started working and you want to upskill, you want to become more excellent at what you do, you should purchase this program. Yeah. Yes.
For sure. It's for students and graduates. The goal is actually clarity, um, be more specific on your skill sets and what you're learning, especially if you have like multiple tendencies, multiple expressions. You have to channel it into one. There are possibilities of you doing multiple things at the same time and just having something that covers it all. But ideally, if you're just starting out, it's good to just put all your energies into one thing, harness that thing, build it up to a point where you're an expert, and then move on to something else if you want to move on to something else. Like I said, for me, it was graphic design. I focused on it. I maxed it out. Maxed it out, like, and the peak for that for me was owning a creative agency and doing multiple gigs in Nigeria and working with foreign companies as a creative director for an agency. And then, I mean, I looked at what are the top skills one could learn to start earning in dollars, and I stumbled upon digital marketing and paid media buying. So before you knew it, I just learned digital marketing and paid media buying. Because again, I'm not saying you cannot earn in USD for graphics, but for me, I just felt something else was it for me. And so I did that for a couple of years. And I got my first gig working for a phone company as a paid media buyer. Did that for a year. I'm currently working for another US company as a paid media buyer as well. But I still like I've maxed out graphic design. That's just to explain that you can actually move from one skill to another if you want to. If you want to focus on one, build a career for yourself, become an expert in that thing. Of course, also very possible.
All right, thank you, Mr. Toby. Sorry, Fatima. So, to not waste our time, we'll be rounding up like latest by 9 o'clock. But I just want to mention a few things. That yes, the link to purchase is already in the chat, and also the coupon for anybody that is purchasing directly from the Career Multiverse. Okay, you can also refer this to people that would like to purchase it. Okay. So a few announcements here at the moment. The career multiverse, yeah, if you go to our Instagram, you can see everything the career multiverse is about. But then we are a community for young persons, for students, for recent graduates, anyone that is currently trying to figure out their life and doesn't want to do it alone. Like I always say, okay, Chama wants to say something.
Oh, okay. Like I was just going to add to like a couple of things that has already been said. As somebody who is a beneficiary of the course, like I've taken the course to a reasonable extent, like I just want to say it is actually a great course. It is a great course. Knowing exactly where you want to be is something, but having somebody to hold your hand and a community just makes the journey twice. It makes the journey short. So it gets you faster from where you currently are to where you want to be. And as somebody that has received value immensely from the course, I just want to recommend that it's something that you would actually want to take. You would actually enjoy it. It's guaranteed to definitely take you to the next level in your career and just generally in life. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Chioma. If I had like a seal, I would have used to stamp awards. I would have done that. But yes, just coming from us, coming from me, we highly recommend that you take the course because your journey, of course, is going to be easier. So, like I said, the Career Motivers is a community for young persons that currently do not want to find life by themselves, do not want to figure out their career. So, we call it the Career Motivers because we talk about more than career, more than just getting jobs, and we talk about the things that happen behind the scene. And at the moment, yes, we are going to be onboarding our new members on Sunday. I would have said, oh, you can apply and join, but currently we're not taking people at the moment. And yes, additionally, if you'd like to have a one-on-one career clarity session after taking the course, actually, or maybe yeah, after taking the course or before taking the course, if you'd like to have a one-on-one career clarity session through the career multiverse, we can one of the course is one of the things that we recommend. Like the course is even what we actually recommend to you on the top of the list. So you can reach out to me if you have any questions actually about the course, about your career, about anything whatsoever. Please reach out to me. And yes, thank you so much, everybody. From the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you to everybody that took their time to wait till the end of this call. Sand will not pour in your gari and water will not pour in your zobo. Thank you very much, everybody. Over to you, Fatima. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you for spending your time with us today. I hope this conversation has not only given you something to think about, but you are leaving with practical things that you can start implementing. Thank you so much once again for being here, and we truly appreciate it. Thank you very much. And that brings us to the end. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a beautiful night rest.
Thank
Thank
you. Good night, everyone. Good night.